beliefs are things that are not just a part of us because of how we were raised, or the religion that we have, or even the kind of lifestyle that we want to live. Beliefs are things that are based on partially our experiences, the people we've met, the people we've spoken with. Our beliefs are really a myriad of different things that come together into one thing, one idea that we really stand by, we really believe to be true. And I think that it's interesting because if you look at a lot of great individuals, you can really see that the difference between, there's a commonality between people, and that commonality is the difference in whether or not they choose to upgrade their beliefs and update their beliefs as they live, or if they choose to stay stagnant in their beliefs and to never change. This video is not intended to judge anyone or to make it seem like I feel like a certain group of people or a certain type of behavior is better than another. It's rather just to notice the interesting differences between these two approaches to life. In my circles alone, I'm surrounded by people who are not very good at updating their belief systems, I've noticed. They constantly stay the same. But what I've noticed about these people is that they tend to experience this similar problems again and again and again. And yet, every time they experience these problems, it's like they're facing it for the first time. And this is just so fascinating to me, because if it was me in this situation, and I speak from my own experience, but when I experience the same problem more than one time, I start to notice a pattern. I start to think about why I'm experiencing that problem and what might be causing me to experience that problem. And a lot of times I notice that it's because of a certain way that I've decided to live my life, a certain habit that I have, a certain practice that I have in my life, or a schedule, or and all of these things relate back to values. The reason I have a belief, the reason I have a habit in place, or the reason I have a practice in place, is because of a value that I have. Another word for value is belief. So because of a belief or a value I have practices, I have habits, I have systems, I have schedules in place, ways that I want to live my life. And these behavioral sets, they create the results that are either good or bad. And when they're bad, if I continually see bad results in my life, that can only be explained through the systems and schedules and habits and practices that I've chosen to make a part of my everyday life. Therefore, in this setup, my beliefs create my practices, my practices create my results, and my results are either my happinesses or my problems of my day-to-day life. So for me, it seems very intuitive to think that if I'm seeing a problem more than one time, that problem is coming from me. It's not coming from something outside of me, like my job or my boss or my friends or whatever. That's coming from me. It's coming from a habit and a practice, a schedule, a system that I've decided to make a part of my life. And that's what's creating this result. And this result, be it good or bad, is just a result of my beliefs and my values being acted out in my life. So what I want to encourage anybody who might be watching this video would be to look at your results and think about the habits, the practices, the systems, and the schedules that make that result. And then think about your beliefs and your values that have made you enact those schedules, systems, practices, habits in your day-to-day life. Do you still value that belief? Do you still think that that value is important? I want you to really question these things, guys, because you really have to do this. A daily basis is kind of a lot, but at least weekly, at least monthly, you need to be looking at this stuff, and it needs to become second nature to you to look back through this chain of events. Don't just look at the result and focus on that positivity or negativity. Look at that result, Look at the habits, the practices, all these things that made that result happen, and then think about the beliefs and the value systems behind that result that made that result possible. I really believe that this is a way that you can create more happiness in your life, and it's a way that you can really start to minimize the problems that you're experiencing as a result of your behavior. I hope this was useful, guys. If you want to see more videos like this, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. It always helps me out. I'm not sponsored or anything at this point. I'm just doing it because I have things that I would love to share with you guys, and I believe that every second that I'm alive on this earth, I want to be helping people. So, I love you all.